over that wall. Oh, that doo-doo, man.
Well, I think it's easier when you're a man with resources because I honestly feel like most times, especially when women become mothers, and also let me just say thank you for your transparency because I know for a fact that there are so many men that feel the same exact way as you, where you lose your wife or your girl as soon as they have children. Why? Because they become a whole different person, but they have to. So the old version of them is no longer the version that you'll ever know again because that person died in pregnancy or in childbirth, right? They're a whole new, they've been born into something all new along with the children. But how do you get through that? Most women are tired because they don't have any help. I'm just pro logic. And the truth is there are a lot of women that are emotionally exhausted because I don't think men take into account the level of emotional labor that goes into running a household. Like, and especially of feminine women, because we are so intuitively paying attention to the details and the gaps in the household that we're constantly seeking what is the need that you have. Well, if we're seeking your needs and now we're seeking the children's needs and I forget all about my needs and oh my God, this person has to eat. Hey, these bills over here have to get paid. Oh my God, the house is a mess. Oh, I have this party coming up. Oh my God, I'm still working. If they're even still working, there are so many different things that are put onto a plate where it's just straight overwhelm, right? And so I think that for a couple, number one, you have to understand that your relationship will never look the same. But this is why I believe, and I'm not a mother yet, but when or if that is the decision or the road that we choose to go down, then the truth is I need help. I need all hands on deck. I need a nanny.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
I need a night nurse. I need help.
No, what you need is a second wife. Yeah, didn't want me to go down that route, did you? Yeah, you need help. I'll give you that help. Let's bring in some more sugar walls in this house. I got the resources. I'm going to get a second wife. Sarah don't want to hear that, but that's what it is. You'll get all the help when we have another lady in this house. I don't want to pay for a lady just to be cleaning. I don't want to pay for a lady just to be cooking and then she leaves. No. I'm going to get another lady who also want me. You want me for resources. And I guess you like how I look. So does she. I'm gonna bring some more sugar walls. Yeah, the conversation's gonna get real weird now, ain't it? Either you sit down and woman up, or we bring in another lady. Well, me, myself, I wanna bring in another lady anyway. So either you gonna leave now or you gonna stay here while we get another lady. But that's what she needs. What Sarah just said, what Sarah needs is somebody to put that in front of her. There's gonna be a second wife. That's what you need, Sarah. Polygyny.
It's not to say that they're gonna raise my children, but I know women in my family that are like breaking down because they couldn't even take a bath because they couldn't leave their children, right? I know women that are eating the leftover snacks from their kids' lunch. Like the crusts from the sandwiches because they didn't have time to cook anything for themselves because all they're doing is taking care of a child. And I also think for the ladies, you have to accept help because sometimes we feel like, no.
Yeah, second wife, a polygyny. Just go and do it. Accept it. Just go and do it because what she's saying, the older women back then, they did this stuff. But I guess what they're going to say is that those women did that and they were depressed and they was breaking down. That's what you say. If you want to get past this other thing, let the guy have a second wife. That's what you can do.
You're losing yourself inside of the child. And so that has to be okay to have a conversation around where you don't lose yourself in your children. There's no badge of honor for being exhausted, overwhelmed, overstimulated. In fact, you're just mean and surly at the house. We tired of you too. Even if you are a person that you have a tighter budget, right? If you do the math, let's say you spend $20 a day. I think that's pretty, how much you spend a day on food? $20, $30, $40.
Yeah,
50.
Meal prepping and stuff if you're like cooking. But
yeah, like $20 is pretty easy to spend, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's $600 a month, right? You could cut it in half, put $300 of that in the stock market so you can actually start to invest in something. Take that other $300, chop that in half, get a housekeeper that can come once a month, and that other $150, go buy some meal prep. You don't even got to prep the meals. So now with $600, you've just released yourself of so many things. Now instead of spending an hour at night cooking in the kitchen, you can freaking sit with your husband and snuggle by this fireplace like you were saying.
Okay, I see what's happening here. Sarah's not pro-man. What she said is correct. She's not pro-man. She's pro herself. The things that she likes to do or things she's comfortable with doing, that's what she wants. She don't care what other women are comfortable doing. She cares about herself because that's wild. Now you relieve yourself of stress and now you want to snuggle by the fireplace. Now that's nice because, if I don't want to go to work, I still got to go to work. So how about you do me a favor? Sarah, do me this right now. Look me in the eyes, Sarah. Look me directly in the eyes. How about you get up, go cook? That's what you need to do because that's your job. Not finna hire somebody so you don't do your job. You know what else you could do then? What else you could do is this then. How about you get up, go to your job then? You gonna get up and go to your job or you gonna get up and do your job while you're here? I'm not gonna take your job out your hands. That sounds wild.
Okay, go.
No.
Oh, God.
No.
Well, I just want to say one quick word, though. I want to say this, and then you go ahead. I want to say I love the fact that you said, I'm going to need help, but it doesn't take away from this is my child. I think a lot of women are afraid, like, if I'm accepting all this help, I'm not raising my child.
Right.
You're not.
What are you talking about? If you got some other lady in there doing mother duties, you're not. You're half raising your child. What? If another man is going to work and bringing back money, am I not taking care of my family? I'm not. I'm half in it.
That's not the case.
Right.
You can still raise your child and have help. It's still your child.
Yes.
So I appreciate you saying that because I think that's the fear of a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to say that. Go ahead.
I got another one. If a man breaks into my house and I hide underneath the bed while that guy is doing stuff and I wait till the police get there, did I actually protect my family? No. What are you talking about?
We're talking about guys in my position. You're getting all of that.
Yeah.
You're getting a chef. Mm-hmm. You're getting a house cleaner twice a week. Mm-hmm. You're getting not maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 nannies. Mm-hmm. So why is it that people that provide that in my position, I think the divorce rate is more like 80, 90%. We giving that. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So you said, do all of these things and everything will be cool. Mm-hmm. Nah, do all those things and things get worse. Because amongst the 1% is a higher percentage than the others.
Mm-hmm. So I have an answer to that because I'm talking about what the woman can do for herself and what most people, because the majority of people are not in the 1%, but where a lot of the 1% miss is the emotional connection, the emotional vulnerability, the compassion, that the fact that this woman doesn't feel like herself.
So you're telling me, even though all that stuff you said that you wanted, after he gave you that stuff, there's still a problem. That's what you just said. You got all the stuff you were just complaining about, and then after that, there's still a problem. Then how about I give you all the emotional stuff and all the stuff where I have to work and get money to do? I'm not gonna do that. There'll still be a problem. So guess what? You're not getting it all, my dear. That was wild. That actually made me upset. I'm not giving you everything you want. She just said that her and women are like spoiled children. That's what she just said.
Her body doesn't do the same things that it used to do. She doesn't even feel sexy anymore in the bedroom. So it's like, are you helping her on this journey to her new self?
Yes.
So it's easy to get rid of those things, but when we're talking about getting out of the things so that woman can have more time and not be as overly stimulated and overwhelmed, now we got to get into the conversation of, how are you making me feel as a woman? Are you getting dismissive because I'm frustrated?
Ooh.
You know, are you now getting, what is it, when you're annoyed because I'm tired? Or are you the one that's like, baby, I ran you a bath? You know, are you still touching her on the small of her back? Are you depositing money in the sexy bank? You haven't deposited any money in the bank.
Right.
You know?
What?
You're absolutely right. Because then it started turning into, it's just everything's about you. Me, you. Like, and I didn't get it at first, but like, I started to get it, and those were the things that came up.
And I think that ties into what you said about weak people cheating.
Yeah.
Because if you're really adamant about understanding what's going on within your relationship, then maybe you wouldn't have to outsource and go outside of it. And then,
instead of leaning into what her needs was, I leaned out. And, a lot of times we hear their needs and get mad instead of leaning into like acceptance of like, damn, we gotta like soften up
Yeah.
and listen instead of like, well, this and that. I do this. Like, it's not about you.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I went through.
Yeah. And that is the
I'm getting some
Therapy.
therapy.
Yeah. We're getting therapy from the doctor. The doctor is
Getting some therapy
this
right
is
now.
good though. It's good.
It's so real because people don't understand that, like, that is the tragic flaw of masculinity and femininity. And I say this all the time, like, men want men out of women and women want women out of men, but you don't.
That sounds pretty true right there. That sounds pretty accurate. I give you that.
You've got to meet them where they're at.
Get it now.
You know, like how you said you've got to soften up. That means you've got to tap into that other side of you so
Right.
that you can pull her out of it. Because this is what men do. Men run down all of the reasons. Most times, and if she's like, I'm tired, I have these kids, my body, and then it's like, well, I got this nanny, and I got this, and I have a chef, and then you start running down the track record.
Because
right?
he was ready to run it down.
Well, let me tell you. So when you run down the track record, what happens is feminine women. Let me just say, femininity lives in the now. Masculinity lives via track. So instead of me being able to say, baby, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I got these kids, I don't feel sexy anymore. You come home, I want to give you what you want, but you don't. All of these different things. The man says, but I got you the personal trainer. I got you the maids. I got you the nannies. I don't know why you're so tired. And so now what you've actually done is put that woman into her masculine. Now you've expected that feminine woman to be a man, but when she gets into her masculinity is confrontational. And masculine doesn't like masculine.
You're just saying words right now. What are you talking? If he do all the stuff that she wants, he's being submissive. You just went in a circle. Okay, if he tells his submissive lady that, hey, yo, I already did these things right here, I'm not doing nothing else. That's a you problem now that I can't help you with. That's him being masculine. And you're saying him being masculine is going to turn her masculine? Then you're saying that he needs to be feminine so she can stay feminine, which means he's no longer going to be masculine.
I know who I am.
You hear what you're saying? We're going in a stupid circle now. When do I tell her what to do and she do it then? How about that? If I tell her what to do, when do she do it? Because I thought that was masculinity, right? Masculinity is dominant. I'm finna try to dominate the situation by letting her know I did this thing already. If I ain't doing no more. That's a person making a line in the sand for you. But you're saying she's going to become masculine when I do that. So can't I just easily say that you are disguising yourself as feminine, but you're actually masculine then? Can't I just easily say that then?
So now y'all are going head and head, bucking back and forth because you're both in the wrong energy.
I need to see you once a week.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Because this is great. Yeah, we're gonna need to set up some therapy sessions. This is incredible because I love the way you put things, though. You say it so perfectly, and it's like it just makes so much sense.
Thank you.
I love it. So, question: I've dealt with this in relationships. I heard you speak on this before, and I just want to get your viewpoint. Like, what do you feel about like people closing off, right? Or like Paul talked about this. We did have a therapist on. He spoke about how like in relationships, if he's starting to like feel too many things, he'll close off or he'll ignore the person and just not respond. You know what I mean? And I've experienced that too. And I know you spoke about that. And you were saying like the silent treatment and ignoring is a form of just, I don't know if you said abuse necessarily, but it's emotional abuse. And I do feel that way. Yeah. Because when I was ignored and stuff, like I cried and I was really emotional because I don't like to be ignored.
Emotional abuse is actual like
That's emotional abuse. I would like the doctor to weigh in, please. I would like the doctor to weigh in. I'm sorry. Let her weigh in. Thank you.
So what I love is
silence is abuse.
Let the doctor weigh in.
It's called stonewalling, actually. So I learned this from Dr. Gottman, and he talks about how there are 4 horsemen where if you see these 4 things in a relationship, you're guaranteed to end. And this study has been going on for longer than 35 years with couples. And he said if you have all 4 of these things consistently in your relationship, he can guarantee down to higher than the 90th percentile whether your relationship will end or not. Like I'm talking 97, 98%, right? And the 4 things are contentment, stonewalling, criticism, and stonewalling, contentment, and deflection, right? Defensiveness. So contentment is where you put yourself above your partner. That's when you start saying, oh, you think you better than they now. Oh, you think you could just get away with that. That's when you literally are kind of condescending. You're being condescending to your partner. Stonewalling is where you shut down. Now, I actually found, because of one of my relationships that I was in, highly effective international speaker. I've been translated in Greek. I've been translated in Spanish. I've spoken all over the world on leadership, self and personal and business development. And highly effective Sarah, okay, me, was in a relationship where that man was so critical and so defensive that I started stonewalling, shutting down. I have nothing to say. I can't win. I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. I don't know what to do. And the funny part is it doesn't usually show up until 2 years into your relationship. And I was in this relationship for 5 months. I was on the fast track to just toxicity. Now I later found out narcissistic personality disorder. You know, that's what my therapist said.
Yeah.
I'm not diagnosing him.
All right, whatever. I guess your therapist said it.
So, where are you at in your life as far as like relationships? Do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Like, where are you at? I feel like you know what you want.
I do.
Like,
Yeah, for
is
sure.
That,
Very clear.
is that?
Very
Have you
sure.
ever been married?
I've been engaged twice.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Okay,
And a half
engaged
times.
twice.
Me too. Yeah.
It's a bad look right there. Been engaged twice. Kevin Samuels.
Engaged twice?
Yeah.
Okay. So is that something you're looking forward to? Or
Yeah.
is that something you want to do?
If it's right.
If it's right.
I'm not in a rush to do it wrong. And I
Yeah.
think the reason why I've been engaged twice before was because I was in a rush.
So, like,
Mm-hmm.
you got engaged,
Uh-huh.
and how long was the first engagement?
Almost 2 years or a year. I was a kid though.
Okay.
My first time I was engaged, I was 18.
Me too.
Yeah, I was a child.
Second one.
Second one, I was in my late 20s. That was a long time ago.
So how long was that engagement?
About a year.
Okay.
And I called it off right before the wedding. I think it was I want to say probably June. I'm not great with time, but our wedding was September. Like I had my dress, we had our venue,
What happened?
Well, can I ask, or if you don't want to share?
No, I
it's
don't.
fine. Yeah.
It's okay. So the second time that I was engaged, first of all, I never should have dated that man. Never should have dated that man. Not to say that there's anything wrong with him. I don't want to just be the person that's bashing people, but I really and truly, when I look at alignment with what I want in my life, and it was actually a mentor that taught me, when you look at your partner and you put on your wife hat, meaning like, how do you want to feel? How do you want to be? How do you want to show up as a wife? Write those things down. And then, can I be this way with him? And that's when I was like, oh,
Wow.
I can't be this man's wife at all. But
Why would you do that to him?
well, he had it coming, to be honest. But
What?
that man,
That's narcissist.
no, let me tell you.
That narcissist.
Well,
She
damn.
broke up.
Yeah, I did. But let me
Okay, first thing first, I want you to remember you just said that you wasn't going to bash him or try to put him down or anything. But for you to say he had it coming, I already know you're finna do it, right? I already know she's about to now talk down upon this guy. But he's right. I don't know if it's narcissistic, what you just did, but I know one thing. It was problematic. She did it like it was nothing. Sarah, I think who you really are is just showing. It's been showing lately now. When you let her just keep talking, it gets bad.
Let me tell you why. Paul. Because this man,
You're stupid.
I had to learn. This man was in so much competition with me all the time. Like it was like, so at the time I was in the top 3% of a $9.8 billion company. Okay, I work hard. I've never been a stranger to working hard.
Yeah.
You know,
Same.
like never. I moved to America. I'm like, let's figure it out. I might not come from money, but I come from love. I never came from money, but I built my success, you know? And so I was working hard, and he used to say things. It was really, this was the thing. This was what put it was the last needle on the haystack. This man looked me dead in my face and said, Sarah, you'll never make it. The only way you'd make it is if you married someone who made it.
You wasn't gonna talk negative about this guy. Has this became Oprah? Is this Oprah now we're watching? You was just about to marry somebody who does things like this. All right, Sarah.
And in that moment, it wasn't the deceit. It wasn't that he was sneaky. It wasn't any of those things. I was like, oh, it was like, we do not have aligned visions whatsoever. Like, you don't even see me for who I have the potential of being. And even if you did, you're trying to dim it down. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. And in that moment, I remember I was leaving, and he was like, if you leave, then because I had kept taking off my ring. I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. He's like, if you leave, then you really mean it. I mean it. And when I tell you I left, I went to a movie. I went to a matinee, actually. I ate popcorn. I chilled. I went back
By
and
yourself?
I was like, by myself. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not about to be stressed out. I'm not about to be picked on. And I'm for damn sure I'm not going to be with somebody that doesn't see my value as their wife.
It went from love.
So you're telling me you was just about to marry a guy who just picked on you and did all these bad things to you, and you did nothing. You were a victim. You yourself are a Tyler Perry movie, Sarah. That's what you're saying. I don't believe you. Just being honest with you, I don't believe you. This is just your side. And Sarah, from what everybody now know, you only want men with a lot of money. That idea alone made me believe that you're not this victim that you think you are. Just being honest with you, I don't believe it.
Love to hate that fast.
No, I didn't hate him.
Well,
I just
it
love
was
me
like,
enough.
Like you about to get married,
Yeah.
right? And so like the attitude popped off between y'all two, you know, the argument, whatever. Then you did what you did, but like there was like some animosity.
No, I wouldn't even say it
wasn't?
was animosity.
Like
What?
how can you go from about to get married? Like that's the top of the love.
But is
like,
it, or is that the top of indoctrination? And that's the thing. That's the
Oh my
point.
God.
But us as women, our whole lives, we've been taught, get married, start a family, get married, start a family. And if you're not mindful of what you actually need for you, anybody can make you a wife and anybody can give you children as long as they got a good seed. But if I'm after joy, peace, alignment, similar core values, if I'm after the things that matter, then it matters who I put into that place. And so I had to learn, and it took me until I was about 28 years old. I've spent so much money on retreats and healing and learning and all of the things, coaches and therapists and whatever. I had to learn that I was subscribed to the story that I'm just supposed to get married and start a family. And that's why a lot of people are married, but they will never experience what it means to be husband and wife. Because those are two very different things. That God thing, that's a very different thing than I said I do to you. I got a legal contract with you. If you die, I get half. That's a business contract. That's fine, and that's important. But what is the unwavering, unshakableness that even though despite what happens, I'll choose you? I got a question for y'all too. I got eaten alive. So I'm gonna ask you guys a scenario, okay?
I know what you're gonna ask.
all right. You asked the question. What was the question? Marriage or the wife? What was it again?
Your spouse or your child? Your
So
wife or your child?
No. You say married and a wife is two different things.
Oh yeah, she said marriage and husband and wife are two different things.
It's only to a woman.
Break that down.
Only to a woman.
Tell me more.
Because when a man marries you, he's marrying you to be your husband, to be married. A woman is marrying you based on what she can, to be married and not a wife, or a wife and not be married. Like it's one or the other for the woman, but for the man it's both every time. Because a man he married you because he wanted to be with you. You married him based on what he can give to you, what he provides, what he brings to the table.
That's good.
Like 100%. Like, damn, he give love, but like, if we have kids, can he take care of them? Y'all looking at all these other things. A man marrying you because he love you. Like he looking at, like, she broke, but she cool and do all this other
She
things.
broke, but she cool.
Like you ain't looking at a man, oh, he broke, he cool, but he cool. Like you ain't doing that as a woman. Let's keep it 100 now.
crazy.
You like, he broke, but he cool as motherfucker. He got a good personality and this and that, and his vibe is cracking. We gonna marry y'all if y'all that.
Yeah.
Like You feel me? Like, cause so a man know more about being in love than a woman.
That's what I've heard people say a lot. I've heard men say that
Like,
opinion a
because
lot.
like, damn, cause y'all looking at his situation. We just looking at you for who you are. You might look good and what you give and everything. Like, damn, but like, it has nothing to do about what you provide.
But it does. It's just not monetary.
I mean, a dude can get that from anybody.
No, that's not true. A dude can get anybody to clean the house. They get anybody to cook. They get anybody to have. But having the
So that
emotional and spiritual fortitude to support you in a way to fill your gaps before you even express them, to make you know that you are the head of household, that you are the king that you are. Every woman, some women might do it because you've given them some money, but a woman that does it because she genuinely cares about you, that's a different kind of woman.
It's
Way
a different
kind of
woman that cares, that they're anticipating your needs. Oh,
Yep.
babe,
So,
I
like
made this
me,
appointment for you. I'm doing this. I'm taking you here.
Wait, hold up. Based off of what y'all saying, I can understand what you're saying. But the only thing is, even when it comes to Sarah, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've heard the one beside you talk long enough. What's her name? Azar? Is that her name? Azar? Yeah. If the guy don't meet all these criterias, like money is a main criteria. Like if he don't hit them, you're not gonna do this thing you're talking about anyways. So the other one who's with you for money, y'all two look identical. Because if I didn't have the money, you wouldn't talk to me. So what are y'all talking about? You're just saying words right now. The money is such a factor that y'all two are the same. That's the sad part. Unlike Sarah, one of them will actually be all right with that guy doing the stuff that he was doing because she get the money. You want it all. Your emotions and everything catered to while also getting the money. You're more of a problem than you think you are, Sarah.
Here.
What benefits do a guy like Paul Pierce get from marriage? Made all the money in the world, been successful, been famous, then met every celebrity. What benefit do I get from it?
Well,
like why should I get married for secure? Like what?
Well,
tell me.
I guess my first question for you.
How can I tell somebody I could trust them? How can I tell that somebody that's not just getting married for what I bring to the table and all of this? Like, what am I looking for? What do I look for?
What's the answer to that?
I don't know.
Well, then I can't answer you.
I need to know the answer.
Really?
Yeah, because if marriage doesn't mean anything to you, then you shouldn't get married.
I'm looking for love. How do I know what true love look like?
That won't work. Love ain't enough. Love
I'm
is not
looking
enough
for
to stay married.
support. I'm looking for
That's
a
too
partner.
easy.
All right, so what is that look like? What is marriage about? I'm looking for somebody spiritual who loves God, who like I could
not
say
enough.
like what is it
let her
then?
talk.
You
Say
said
something.
all the 6 things. I didn't name 5 of them.
Right.
You said I'm not looking for
Safety,
that.
security, respect, emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
emotional regulation, openness, and honesty.
So-
I need all 6. Everything else is figure outable. If you are sometimes quick to anger, but you still respect me, I can work with that. If you sometimes get frustrated in
Being quick to anger is lack of emotional intelligence. That's lack of emotional intelligence. All right, let's see what happens.
side of my frustration because you don't understand me. I'm just a girl. You don't understand me being just a girl, but you still make me feel safe and secure. I can work with that. If you are the type of man that, maybe sometimes your money, this business, this CEO that was about to take over your business, I was about to get a $20 million deal and then that man dies. So now it's like, holy, what do I even do? I don't have this person anymore. Can I cuss? I'm so sorry. I'm not even a
Yes,
cusser.
of
I don't even
course
know how
you
that
can.
happened. But anyway, this person that died, now I got to figure this out. Now I got a whole business that I got to pay for and no CEO to take it over. What do I do, baby? But you still treat me with emotional regulation and openness and honesty. I can work with that. I can work with all of the things that happen inside of.
You just said a guy that owns a business and their CEO passed away. You do know you just said the guy that's a 1% again. Sarah, why do you keep speaking? Big screen. Y'all can go watch the rest of this video. This video was actually exhausting to listen to, all right? Because all I was hearing was a bunch of people say stuff that I'm like, this is weird, okay? Nothing y'all doing is traditional. Everything y'all are saying and doing is like a me thing. Sarah, based on what Sarah was saying, Sarah needs to have a husband who has multiple wives. Cause guess what? If you're tired, don't worry. You got extra helpmates to help you out, my dear. Understand this. Sarah, based off all the stuff you say, you and the lady who's a gold digger are not different. It's just you want me to believe you love me, which the gold digger tries to do. You want me to believe you love me, even though if I didn't have all this money, you wouldn't be with me. Let that sizzle in your spirit. How do I actually know that you're actually here for me if I needed this money to get you? Hey, man, but still, I told y'all, man, you gotta watch out for Sarah. Sarah and Dr. Brian, she's Dr. Sarah. So y'all both are doctors. You gotta watch out for them. They keep saying stuff, but it all comes from a selfish mindset. They're really thinking about them the whole time while speaking. You gotta watch them. I don't trust them.
Oh, you ain't know what that was? Oh, that doo-doo, baby.